Have you ever felt isolated or neglected? Or you used to have a lot of friends hang around, but now maybe you're on a different level that you have to work so hard and discipline yourself. You tend to feel like you don't really have people around you where you have to discipline yourself and work more and you just can't help it. Well, sit tight because I have something for you. Hi there, my name is Irene Benebar and I am a personal development coach, and welcome with Real Talk with Irene. So we're looking at how to deal with loneliness, and this is like a self-discovery segment. This is like the part one. Why I'm dividing it into segments is because I want you to understand that loneliness is part of human life. Every human tend to experience loneliness one way or the other. And this segment will be bringing to light some things that you yourself you need to stop doing in order to deal with loneliness. Before someone tends to say, I'm lonely, there's some habits, there's some character that you need to deal with. There's some things you might need to work on. And there's some areas that you need to get aware of. Like, you can't say you want to communicate with someone or have a connection with someone when you don't even have a connection with yourself. So that's all about this segment, okay? First of all, you need to understand that loneliness is a bridge that you have to summon courage to cross in order to get to the other side. I'm not talking about having people all around you all the time, because you may have people around you, but you may still feel lonely. And according to the dictionary, loneliness is termed as being isolated, feeling empty. So there are situations whereby someone can be around a lot of people but still feel empty, still feel disconnected, still feel isolated. So how to navigate that thing called loneliness is what we'll be looking forward to. As we move on, I'll be giving you like practical steps. So the number one point is stop having a negative view of yourself. Stop putting yourself down. Stop feeling that you have nothing to offer, even as little as a conversation, because you have to love yourself and people feel the way you feel about yourself. So the way you feel about yourself is the way people will feel about you. So you have to love yourself. Stop putting yourself down. Don't have a negative image of yourself. One way for you to really deal with loneliness is every negative image that you have of yourself, you need to trash it. You need to start working on it before you get out there. Ask yourself, who am I? Get to know you. Don't conclude on who you think you are, because you are more than who you think you are. So trash out every negative thought you have of yourself. Get to know the real you and have a very good perception of yourself. Okay, so after putting away negative thoughts about yourself, the second point is to get to know yourself better. Focus on your strengths, your talents, your good qualities. Write them down if you must. I think really this topic is more of a self-discovery, like I said, and it really requires us to take out pens and papers. So like a homework part for this point is you need to ask yourself, what are my talents? What are my good qualities? Actually, I'm sure people would have brought to limelight the good things that you must have done for them. You think about those scenarios of people testifying about you. If it requires you asking questions too, you have to ask. But you yourself, you know yourself. So focus on yourself, those good qualities, those things that you can talk about freely, right? So just get to know yourself better. So the fourth point is speak to others the way you want to be spoken to. That is getting rid of behaviors like arguing and forcing your opinions on others. Like I said before, communication is a two-way thing. When you speak, you allow the other person to speak. In communication, you don't have to agree or you don't have to argue about things, right? So don't force your opinions on others. Number two a put down attitude, an insultive attitude. You can't have a good communication if you tend to insult a lot. You're condescending, you look down on others, you tend to talk anyhow. Nobody wants to talk to someone like that. So if you know you tend to condescend, you tend to insult while having communication, you need to put that away to deal with loneliness. Next point is a know-it-all attitude. You don't allow people to share their view, and when having conversation with someone, if let me say you're talking about something and the person is not enlightened about that thing, you tend to mock the person for not knowing that certain thing. No man is an island. So whenever you have communications whereby you tend to share more knowledge or you're more knowledgeable, just see it as a way of you enlightening someone, not making the person feel stupid, right? So if you know you have this attitude of making people feel stupid whenever you have conversations with them, you need to work on that. And the sub point under number 4 is a condemning attitude, which is being overly righteous. This applies to people who are extroverts. So if you notice that even as an extrovert, people don't really like being around you, check any of this points and work on yourself. After all this self-examination, we still need to be realistic. What do I mean? Everyone will not like you. I'm not teaching you how to force yourself on others. No, we are not here to force ourselves on others. But we are here to just build real connection, because people, like it or not, have bad attitudes. Some people can be really, really funny. Like I said, we are not here to force ourselves on others, but improve on ourselves, right? Yes. The fifth point is to put away any distractions when having a conversation. What do I mean? The number one distraction is our phones. Yes, our phone can be a distraction. So when having conversation, be intentional, be invested. Don't put your phone on the table, put it in your bag. Don't look at your phone when having a conversation. It is being said in studies that when you don't really have an interest in something, you tend to shift your focus to another thing. What do I mean? You're having a conversation with someone and your phone is on the table. Maybe a message pops up. You will tend to look at it, and that person will feel a disconnection. That person will feel you're not invested in that conversation. So anything you know will be a distraction to you when having a conversation, a meaningful conversation, put it away. Deal with it. Reflect on all the distractions you do have when having conversations and work on it. You know, we always have a homework segment. So number 1 point is practice starting a conversation. What do I mean? Try knowing how to introduce yourself. Most people find it hard to introduce themselves. I can remember starting my YouTube channel and I realized that introduction is key. So I had to work on how to introduce myself to my audience, whosoever they may be, when I was starting, right? So if you even notice that in all my videos, my introduction are not static, that's because I try to put in more effort in my introduction. So practice starting introducing yourself, get to know yourself better. Ask yourself, who am I? If it requires you watching videos on it, because I know that the internet is so broad and there's a lot of videos that can help us get to introduce ourselves. There are movies on it. If it requires you getting a mirror, practice in front of a mirror how to introduce yourself. Just basic baby steps like that can go a long way. You don't have to start by being an expert. Just start by showing interest in just one person, asking about their day, asking about what they did, showing interest in little things. Just start small. And also, to be an expert in this introduction thingy, don't limit yourself to people in your age range. Don't say because you want to deal with loneliness and build a connection, it's only people of your age range. I've always pinpointed that you can learn from anybody and everybody. So you can, start by showing interest in people that are not your age range, or people that are above you, below you in age. Also note that communication is a two-way thing and people appreciate good listeners, right? So it's a call and response kind of thing. So communicating is not so hard. So whenever you're trying to build a connection, bear in mind that in as much as you are going to talk, the other person is also going to respond. So you don't have to do all the talking. That's why I said it's not compulsory for you to be an expert, right? You just have to start small. So when you ask, be ready to listen and also be ready to share. That's why if it requires you practicing, why not practice it, right? It won't hurt. So you can see that all the points that I've listed are not points that are so hard to follow. These are basic points that you might not really have put your attention on, but they're affecting the way you associate with people, because people tend to avoid people, not because of you have one plague or anything, but little details and basic things like this that haven't really been put into consideration. So I know you are going to do a whole lot of work on yourself. You're going to look forward to having meaningful conversation and building real connection and dealing with that loneliness. So please give me a thumbs up so I can make more videos like this in the comment section, and also share with me in the comment section, because I love to read your comments, areas where you felt isolated. Maybe you were invited to an event, a bubbling event at that, or you felt lonely, you felt empty. Just tell me your experience and what you think must have caused that feeling, right? From the point I've listed, right? Because I know I've brought to limelight all those points that you really didn't think was a problem. So what do you think was a problem? Why did you feel lonely in a crowded place filled up with people? Or just share one of your experiences of you feeling lonely and not connected to someone. But before I go, please do well to like and share this video so that other people who need to work on themselves and improve themselves, because it's all about self-growth, can see this video and like it and learn from it. Because right here we do more of self-growth, and being bold also start with knowing how to speak to others and knowing how to get to know yourself. So when next I see you, bye for now.